think it was mission accomplished, at least for the first day, to get yourself up the board, right?
For sure. No, it's a weird spot to be in. You kind of, I was joking with Scotty and saying, I forget who we were talking with yesterday, but just being in the position I'm in, I was like, I feel like I kind of had a decent idea of what the rest of the week would hold through 12 or 13 holes. You know what I mean? It's like, obviously you have a lot of golf left, but if you're one or two over through 12, you know, when you're starting where I am, it's bit of a buzzkill, but I played really solid today, and just felt like I kind of took advantage of the chances I had.
You were talking yesterday about you didn't know how many birdies were out there, but you made 7. Were you surprised the green seemed a little more receptive? I mean, how did that go?
They definitely seem more receptive than I thought that they have been, or I don't know if they just put a lot of water on them or what, but they definitely were holding better than I thought. I think they did a great job with some of the pins. I mean, the par threes, if they had the pins tucked up front, that they moved the tees up. I mean, number 2, that pin would have been impossible, with a 6 or 7 or even an 8 iron from the back today. So
hard 9, right?
Exactly. It is what it is, and I feel like they'll kind of, I'm sure, go in waves of how they'll set the course up. But it was, I thought, fairly gettable today.
Yeah, my point is you could attack.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the hours after you finished on Sunday and just sort of how you tracked it and when you kind of felt good and just what it's about getting here?
I wasn't going to wait all afternoon, so I went home. I was like, I'll just go back to Jupiter, and I felt like I had to have a lot of things, I would say, not go my way to get in. I mean, although it for a while there, or for a little bit, it looked like I wasn't going to, but a lot of people needed to play well for me to not get in because of how poorly I played. But I went home, so I think we took off around like 1:30, and my parents and Rev and my trainer Colby were flying home, and I told my parents, because I know they'd be looking nonstop, I was like, we're not talking about it. Don't even look at it. Or I was like, you can look at it, but just don't talk about it. Rev didn't want anything to do with it. I couldn't help myself. I was looking nonstop, and I just know when I left for the airport or took off, I think I was like 93 or 94% chance to be in, so I felt good about that. And then it was I to get my mind off it, just started playing cards with my dad, and it felt like literally every time I opened my phone, it just was getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and people just kept making birdies that I need to not make birdies, and I would say a couple nervous beers turned into a couple angry beers because it looked like I wasn't going to get in, and I was bummed, but like I said, there was just so many people that needed to finish in the top 5 or 6 to really hurt me that, I'm never rooting against people, but maybe not rooting for them is probably the right way to say it. And I'd probably 30, 40 minutes before we landed, we knew I was good.
So were you on the plane when you found out?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Smiley was calling the past couple groups, and I hope I don't get him in trouble. He was texting me live updates because, Wi-Fi wasn't great, and he was like sending me pictures of lies. He was telling me what was going on, so I have Smiley to thank a lot for the updates.
And by getting back here, in what ways do you feel like maybe you're back and things are better than last year, and where do you feel like you still need to go?
Well, you can always improve in this game, but I just being back here, I think, I said it in my presser yesterday, I think I really took for granted being here. I think I always felt like I should be. I do feel like I should be here, but I just felt like it was an automatic, and it's just not the case. It's a brutal sport, and I think with the condensed schedule, it's harder even. It's not you really have to play solid golf to get in the top 50, let alone the top 30. So I'm very proud to be here, and feel like although there's plenty of tournaments I would have liked to finish better or have a win or two this year, I'm still proud that I am here and have a chance. So just keep building off that.
Justin, logistically, how does that look when you find out late Sunday that you're playing this week? Is it something you've always planned to do to be here, or are you then trying to figure out, or is your team trying to figure out where you're going to stay and all the boring stuff?
I had planned to be here. It's like I said, it was the chances were good enough that it was that it looked like I was, but then with not playing well, it was like, all right, well, you're not doing yourself any favors type thing. And I didn't have an issue coming here, Monday night or Tuesday morning, and I ended up just kind of having a nice day at home on Monday, practicing and working out and just relaxing, and coming here Tuesday morning. But yeah, I had the hotel, just had to move it back a couple days, and I was happy to, as opposed to just canceling it altogether. And yeah, so glad to be here.
And if things had worked out differently and you weren't here this week, how would this week have looked for you with the President's Cup hopefully coming up in a few weeks?
Well, I wouldn't like my chances very much, that's for sure. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because I missed the playoffs as a whole last year, and obviously got for the Ryder Cup. But it's there's so many guys that are deserving. There'll be 3-4 guys that don't get picked that are very deserving, whether they're here or not. So that's just how deep I think golf and U.S. golf is right now, and a lot of young, hungry guys. But yeah, it would have been. I kind of had eyeballed. I was probably going to go to the Western Kentucky-Alabama game this weekend, but again, I'm very happy to not do that.
And how much have you been in touch with Jim Furyk?
Not much, a little bit. I mean, he never wants to bother us. He's like, not only is he playing some, but this is a pretty obviously important part of our season. So I don't think he wants to feel like he's a burden or distracting us by any means. So I mean, I've seen him here and there, and just really had like one conversation with him, but it's an awkward place to be in because I don't really know my place or my role, and I never want to overstep or not be involved or whatever, and so that's why I'm staying out of it. I feel like more so and just trying to play good golf because that takes care of more than anything.